The application review information criteria, where we have instituted procedures for assessing technical merit of the application to provide an objective review of the application to assist the understanding of the standard against which the application will be judged. The evaluation criteria is based on the information required in the applications described in section 4B. 4B, reviewers will be awarded based on the evaluation criteria based on one, statement of need, 15 points, expanded outcomes and outputs, 15, project design, 56, organizational administrative official capacity, 11, budget and budget justification, and project budget and budget justification, 3, total of 100 points. The statement of need is up to 15 points. The American Native or assessment points will be awarded based on the extent of the application provides a strong evidence of skill gaps, workforce and selective the region gaps, training available to address these skill gaps, and the American apprenticeship is viable solution. The application provided evidence and invitation training needs to develop in basic skill quality American apprenticeship program for skilled industry and regions. 4 points. The industry labor market information points will be awarded based on the extent in which the application demonstrates for the use of the labor market information selected industry occupations as are high growth industrial occupations for which the employer currently seeks H-1B visas. The extent will be which the application demonstrates the understatement HB1 relevant abilities, degrees, credentials required HB1 industry occupations targeted in the proposal as applicable, how the project can be scaled, support skills needed for the cross multiplier employers, the quality of evidence provides an average wages offered to select higher growth and high HB1 industries occupations based on the national, state, and local data. The quality of demographic data provided by the application demonstrates a strong likelihood of the potential participation of underrepresented groups, including women, young women, women of color, persons with disabilities, low skilled, and population veterans, and training service members among the American Apprenticeship Project. Uh, um, 2 points to the expected outcomes and outputs, project goals and milestones, outputs and outcomes. One, points will be awarded based on the overall reasonable feasibility of goals and milestones, outputs and outcomes. Application demonstrates the goals, milestone, outputs, outcomes that are appropriate for the overall project design. Will lead to the successful implementation of the project. Review will consider extent of the application proposed appropriate for the optional measures and the additional required measures. They will allow the application to more accurately measure the impact of the project. Reviewers also will be considered the extent for which the information was clearly organized in the table or allows a full transparency. See suggested performance template of the Appendix E. 6 points. Whether proposed goals or milestones output the outcomes represent a local sequence of the short-term, intermediate term, long-term applications must demonstrate the projection required measures and appropriate feasible measures on the project design. While the significant challenging, the reviewers also will award points based on whether the target milestones, outputs, and the overall timeline of the grant implementation. The application proposed the number of the apprentice served and the fewer than the goals established in Section 2. The minimum goals of the apprentice served by the grant period based on the funding requested will receive 0 points for the section. The capacity of the report evaluating outcomes. Points will be awarded based on the extent to which the application demonstrates the commitment of the ability to report the Department of Labor with a rigorous performance reporting will be taken into account as staffing and budgeting plans. If known, applicant identifies the person in position for data coordinating, describes any experience with the performance and tracking system, the strength of application capabilities to work with program partners, and effective collecting reported milestones, outputs, outcomes described in the application, including procedures for collecting outcomes for after participation have completed the program. 3. The strength of the application performing plan to analyze the access to the help to ensure the continuous improvement throughout the grant period. Project 1. 3. The project design. Reviewers will be scored to the extent of which the application 1 reflects coherent feasibility to meet the identified goals and milestones, outcomes, and address above. Propose an initiative strategies to create and expand American apprenticeship in HB1 industries occupations. See Appendix A and B. Includes a work plan that will reasonably ensure the completion of the work. Expand innovation in the 21st century American Apprenticeship Program. Expanding American Apprenticeship Program, the H1 industry occupation, 8 points. This point will be awarded by the extent of the application. The extent of the applicable demonstrates a strong ability of the American Apprenticeship strategies will include the long and will of applicant goal to achieve greater scale of existing apprenticeship program for the new programs, lay the foundation for future scale statewide, multiple state, regional, national level, general. This time I have a